Well guys, we have a ton to get into today, some really exciting stuff, some pretty heavy and crazy stories as well, so we're not going to waste any time, we're jumping into it. I will say real quick, if you are new to the channel and you want to stay updated with sneaker information, sneaker release dates, sneaker drops, and everything to do with the sneaker world, hit the subscribe button and chuck me a follow over on Instagram, and that way I can keep you guys in the loop. With that being said, we got to get into a release recap and talk about what we managed to get, what we passed up on, and the first one, which I imagine a lot of you guys passed up on, is the Nocta Hot Step Air Terra Nocta, the Drake shoe, which I just don't think people are really feeling. This colorway dropped, I believe, on Friday, and it's the black and yellow colorway. I think the triple whites are my all-time favorite, and this is a close second. It's definitely not bad, but I just don't think that people are really feeling this sneaker. I mean, it hung around on the Nike sneakers app for a while. And then one of the bigger releases, which actually happened, I believe, on Tuesday. Now, this was only for you guys out in the US, but of course, it is the Off-White Air Force One Green Spark, the freaking most hyped sneaker I think that's dropped this month. I mean, they're going for like over $1,000 on the aftermarket. But yeah, let me know if you were one of the very lucky people to actually get a W on the Nike sneakers app for these Off-Whites. And then one of the, I guess, slightly more surprising releases that we had was the J Balvin Jordan 2. And I say surprising because these things hung around on the Nike sneakers app. I was like, yo, it's a collaboration with J Balvin, and it's actually one of the nicer colorways. And guys, the freaking tongue lights up. All of that sounds great, but when you factor in the retail price of these things, I think it's like $300 in the US and like 270, 280 pounds here in the UK. I actually got a pair of these things. I'm just waiting for them to ship, so I'm just interested in taking a look, but I can 100% understand that the retail price on these things is insane, and there's a lot of other sneakers that I would prefer over this one. And to wrap up the release recap, we had Saturday's release, which was this one here, which I believe was just an EU only. I'm not entirely sure if they dropped out in the US. This is the Jordan 1 Heirloom. These things are sitting harder than I think I've seen any other Jordan 1 recently. Throughout Saturday, we're sat in a full size run, like not a single size sold out on the Nike sneakers app. I'm definitely keen to check them out and see what the issue is, why people don't particularly like them, or just see if maybe they go hard on foot. I'm definitely gonna get a pair in, and I'm definitely gonna take a look at them. Either way, let me know if you went for these or you passed like what seems like the majority of people. All right, let's get into this upcoming news, and let's just start in super hype mode with one of the most hyped sneakers that's going to be releasing this year, and that is the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low, and this is the Phantom Black colorway. Guys, we have official images. So we have been taking a look at various different early images of this sneaker, but finally we have the official ones. I mean, you guys can get a good look at some of these smaller details on this sneaker, like the stitching and the various materials, short suede, some nappy suede. Obviously, you're getting a lot of embroidery. Either way, the release date on these things is December the 15th. So take a look at these crispy official images. We've got a special box, which actually looks very different to a lot of the other Jordan boxes that we've seen. Let me know what you think of these and where they line up in your, I guess, favorite Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows. Speaking of Travis Scott, we've got some very detailed images, or I believe the best images we've seen yet, of the Travis Scott Air Jordan 6 Yellow. I don't know what happened to this, whether it was actually determined that these were friends and family exclusive, or whether they're still upcoming, but all we have are these images. And although I think this is actually a solid color, and I would probably prefer these over the tan ones, I do like the yellow and the black mixed together. I think it's a little bit of a pop. I don't think they're going to release. These just might end up being one of the Travis Scott friends and family pairs that we never end up seeing. So last week we took a look at what ALD and New Balance were cooking up with the 550 model, and that was the all over navy pair. Well, guess what? It's not just that pair. There is another one. Take a look at this. You guys know how I love my sail and brighter colors, and I think on this model it actually works super well. I'm not a huge fan of the navy colorway. It just kind of seems a bit meh. We've also got this colorway here, very similar, just different material. I think this is a little bit more like traditional New Balance 550 materials with leather all over the top, and then this suede version being a little bit different. Either way, these are going to be releasing fall winter 2022. No exact release date, but just know that they are coming pretty soon. All right, and if you didn't think that Yeezy brand has restocked enough this year, like they've done Yeezy day. They've restocked pretty much every crazy colorway we could want. Well, they're doing another one, and it is the Yeezy 350 Onyx. Now, when I first saw this story, I was like, the Onyx? Like, there was a bunch of pairs of those, are people even feeling them? And I went on StockX to find out that this shoe is actually reselling for quite a bit of money. It just jumped up from the initial release. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on, but clearly people love triple black 350s. A restock could be pretty decent for anybody who missed out on a pair of these things. I personally got a pair, so I am all good. Either way, this pair is going to be restocking apparently in November time with a decent amount of pairs, so just keep that in mind. Don't pull the trigger and spend a whole bunch of money on a pair of shoes that is going to be restocking and you can get them for retail. All right, so this one's pretty interesting. The title of it kind of threw me off a little bit because at first I thought it was a Travis Scott collaboration, but that's not the case. Travis Scott reveals a fourth undefeated Nike Air Force One low for 2022. So I assume that this image here is from like his Instagram or something, but either way, we've got another crazy patent leather, shiny, colorful Air Force One from Undefeated. There's a few colorways that's supposed to be dropping this year, including this one with the iced out outsole, which I think it looks okay. I mean, none of these are really my thing, but this is another edition, which again is super crazy, super vibrant. Here's another colorway, and then I believe the fourth one is this one right here. I don't think we have a specific release date for any of these. It's just at some point here in 2022. We've got a pretty interesting collaboration right around the corner this month, September the 22nd. It is the Comme des Garçons Air Max 97. There's going to be two colorways. This all over black pair right here, and then we've also got a really nice light bluish gray colorway. I think they look so freaking good. The faded upper kind of reminds me of what Amar Menier is going to be doing with the Jordan 4. As you know, guys, CDG and Nike collaborations end up costing a whole ton of money. According to House of Heat, the retail price is going to be $350. So again, just something you're going to have to take into account. Speaking of Nike Air Maxes, Supreme is also going to be doing an upcoming collaboration, this time on one of the more fringe models, the Nike Air Max TL. So this is the first leaked image I think I've seen of this one. I'm not a huge Supreme guy, so these don't really do it for me. Either way, this sneaker is going to be releasing this year, and if we know anything from Supreme history, they usually end up dropping multiple colorways, so I imagine there's some kind of black or crazy pink colorway on the way. We got some first looks at an upcoming Patta and New Balance collaboration. So they're actually going to be working on the 990 V3, and here it is. It's okay, it's not too bad. I do quite like this color. It's like all over olive green, but then has these vibrant green hits. We do not have a release date. It's just going to be dropping at some point this year. And then continuing with New Balance, we got the first looks at an upcoming Palace collaboration on the 580 model, which I don't know if I've ever seen, or maybe I just never paid attention to, but apparently this is it here. So we're getting a crazy purple, teal, and yellow colorway. I think this one is my favorite. Just the all over gray, the teal hit, I think looks pretty solid. I don't know if the 580 is really my thing. I can't really tell from these images. I've got to try them on foot and see how they work in with different outfits. Pretty much all the images that we've got of this upcoming collaboration, again, no specific release date. They're just going to be dropping at some point this year. We've got a release date for the Wizards Jordan 3. Hey, this is the official image as well. So we've got a nice little update for this sneaker. I know that a decent amount of people do really like this colorway. Either way, the Wizards Jordan 3 is going to be dropping April 2023. We've also got an update for a pair of Jordan 4s that's going to be dropping next year. And of course, that is the Thunder 4s. We only recently kind of found out that these are going to be dropping next year, or I guess returning. The release date for these is going to be May the 13th. And this is before we even have any, I guess, images of the actual pair. I believe this is a picture of the original pair, if I'm not mistaken. So we will have to wait and see like how they're going to be doing this, whether they're going to exactly replicate the original. Either way, we know that we're going to be getting some kind of variation of a Jordan 4 Thunder. We've got to loop right back around to Travis Scott because we've got another, I guess, rumored release. We don't have any images of it. It's a very small piece of information, but take a look at this here. The title says Travis Scott Air Jordan 7 7 rumored for 2023. Now again, it's just a rumored thing. I don't think anything is set in stone. Like, as I said, we don't even have an image of what this sneaker is going to look like, but I just thought it's pretty crazy. Travis Scott is not going to stop until he's collaborated with every Jordan model. Maybe some kind of green or brown colorway. I think it's pretty interesting. Maybe this will bring more hype to Jordan 7s. I don't know if it worked too well on the 6s, but hey, we'll have to wait and see until we get some more information on this one. We have to talk about a release that is right around the corner. I think specifically for you guys out in the US, I'm not entirely sure if this is also going to be dropping here in the EU. We may have already had a release on these, but it is the Nike Dunk Low Premium Wolf Gray. These are loaded up on Nike sneakers for September the 23rd. Just wanted to add this one in because I think if you're going to be going for any dunks, these are one of the cleaner pairs, at least in my opinion. I think these things look fantastic. I think the materials are really nice as well. Like I said, this is a premium version. Speaking of Jordan 7s, maybe Jordan Brand's trying to bring a little bit of hype, because not only do we have the rumored Travis Scott release, but we've also got some official images of an upcoming Trophy Room Jordan 7. This collaboration remembers the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, and I gotta say, for a Jordan 7, these look pretty dope. I think the colors on here is fantastic, and you've also got the, I guess, debossed signature on the back, which just looks phenomenal with that light beige leather. These are official images, so these should be right around the corner. It has all of the Trophy Room touches, like the little date on the inside, June 22nd, 1992. Either way, no specific release date, just dropping at some point this year. So, you know that Nike acquired Artifact, the NFT sneaker company? Well, guess what? They're not just making NFTs. They're actually going to make a physical sneaker, and this is it. I think this looks so freaking cool. Just the colors that they've got on here as well just looks so futuristic. This is Artifact's first Nike sneaker. I'm not entirely sure how these are going to release, whether it's going to be some kind of like you buy an NFT, you actually get a physical sneaker, or whether it's just a general release shoe. It says Crypto Kicks IRL in real life. I think that's a pretty cool touch. I think this is just a cool sneaker. But yeah, I don't have any information on whether these are actually going to release or not, how they're going to release in terms of like, do you gotta buy an NFT? All right, so we've got a ton of Yeezy news, or some pretty heavy Yeezy news, which we do need to talk about. So let's start off pretty light. Take a look at this here. We've got a new colorway of a Yeezy Slide, which is going to be coming pretty soon. We don't have an exact month, but these are going to be dropping here in 2022. I'm on overandunder.io over on Instagram. Very, very similar to the Onyx colorway. I think these are called Smoke Gray, so maybe just a little bit lighter than Onyx, but really not that much of a difference. People are going to go crazy for slides anyway, but yeah, just thought I'd show you guys this one. And then we've just, generally speaking, got to talk about Yeezy drops. Just interesting that we're getting another Yeezy drop delayed. Like the first one was the, I think the slates, the stone slates, or those 350s, and they released, I believe, before all of the Yeezy Adidas drama that went down over on Instagram. So it's kind of like, are they pushing back the releases because of what's going on? Is there some big change that we don't know about yet, and we're gonna find out? These were the 3 pairs that were scheduled to release this month: the Resin Slides, the Taupe 500 Highs, and the Bone 350 Compacts. But as of right now, I don't know what's going on. We're not getting any Yeezy releases. And maybe a part of that is because Kanye has been in the news recently because he's left Gap. There is no more Gap and Yeezy. It's over. So recently we actually saw a post of the notice of termination which Yeezy sent to Gap, and it outlines a bunch of things that basically Gap didn't hold up their end of the deal. Kanye was mad about the fact that they didn't open stores. They priced the items way higher than he wanted to price them. Whoa, hey guys, I bet you didn't expect that. So, okay, let me explain. So what happened was I pretty much shot the entire episode of Upcoming Sneakers, and I had to leave that same day to London. And guess what? The audio fell through on like the last 5 minutes of footage that I was recording. So we're gonna end out this video how I meant to end it out. We've got like 2 or 3 more stories to talk about. We were talking about Yeezy and Gap, and the big news is that, you know, Yeezy left Gap. He basically put in his termination letter, and in this notice of termination, he basically outlines how the Gap has actually abandoned their contractual obligations. Things like they didn't build the stores that Kanye wanted them to build. They priced a lot of the clothing a lot higher than he originally wanted. And I think one of the main things that that pissed him off, or that he was kind of talking about on social media, was how the Gap priced the Balenciaga stuff and he didn't actually price it. They priced the t-shirts at like 150, 200, and then what they actually went and did was copy that exact same t-shirt and sell it for $20. Everybody now knows that it is done. The partnership is over, which is super unfortunate because I was super excited to see what they were going to do with the whole Yeezy Gap partnership. And then to add insult to injury, look at what Gap went ahead and did. Take a look at this here. So we have Gap slides, everybody. Gap Yeezy slides. I mean, everybody seems to be copying the Yeezy slide, so why doesn't Gap just get involved? There's a blue pair, there's a pink pair, there's a gray pair, and there's even a green pair. So there's a whole, like, different plethora of Yeezy style slides that the Gap is now selling. Again, I couldn't find it on the website, but I assume that it's up there. I think the whole Yeezy Gap and just Yeezy in general, the whole thing is super interesting at the moment, and there is a lot that we're going to be talking about, I assume, in the next coming weeks and months, because I think there's just a lot more change that's going to be happening, whether it's Yeezy going at it alone or whether he continues with Adidas. Subscribe to the channel and I will keep you guys in the loop with all of it. Either way, like I said, daylight is burning, so I'm going to end this video right here. I want to thank you guys so much for coming through and hanging out for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.